Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Khushamdi. Ji ayanu. Goedemorgen.
Pakhair Ragale, Ni hao, Chure Shumme, Washbale, Ohio Gonzaimes, Guten Morgen, Hola, Bonjour, Privyet, Kaifahal, Hale Shama Chatore, Alan Wasalan Marhaba, and a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV1 and watching World this morning. And to the very amazing, the very talented Shiza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Hello Shiza, how are you today?
I am great. How are you?
I'm absolutely perfect. It's Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
and we're not even in the middle of the week as well.
Yeah.
Which is why we feel great because we are not even looking forward to weekends, and that's what we decided mutually, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We're not. Anyway, because it's the start of the week. Yesterday was Monday, and we were sort of sad because the weekend was over. But this is like officially starting. So we have the energy back. We have everything,
Yep.
in place, and so excited to share the top stories with you before we move on to what the show is about.
Let's do it. Good morning.
The election for new president of the country will be held today. Members of Senate, National Assembly and the 4 provincial assemblies will vote. Polling will begin at 10 a.m. and continue till 4 p.m.
Wow.
Good luck to all the candidates.
May the majority wins. Well, that's what's going to happen.
That's exactly. Anyway.
Last but not the
प्यार है हमें प्यार है पाकिस्तान से दिल जान से प्यार है हमें प्यार है पाकिस्तान से दिल जान से हमें प्यार है
Inter-Services Public Relations releases new promo for Defense Day, pays tribute to martyrs and Ghazis. I think it's one of the bestest events which takes place as well, where we pay rich tribute to all those people who sacrificed their lives for their motherland as well, and for all those people who are war veterans too as well. And since I was a part of this program the last year
You
too
were?
as well, yes,
that's
I
great,
was
that's
there.
great.
And the feeling is just so spiritual. It's just you connect with your country, your patriotism is on another level, and when you get to know that how many people have actually served for the cause, it's just brilliant, and it feels great to have the sons of soils with such courage and with such dedication, where they're not just ready to give up. And when we remember them, I think their families love it too as well. So Pakistan Zindabad. But now coming down to what we're going to be discussing today, ladies and gentlemen. So quite a lot of times, me and Shiza, we have been sitting over here, and we have had people from Hunza, we have had people from different parts of Pakistan as well, coming on the show and letting us know about how their experiences were. And not just Pakistanis. In the recent years, in the last 2 years, Shiza, what I've witnessed is that, a larger number of expats even are coming back to Pakistan. And other than that, foreigners are coming to Pakistan too as well, because we are home to cater to as well. And then more
And
than
in
5 peaks.
2017 alone, 1.75 million tourists came to Pakistan.
Wow, so just imagine. So what we have done is that even though we cannot still go, but we'll definitely talk about tourism industry over in Pakistan and how tourism can actually help towards move having peaceful relations with different countries too as well. Because what happens is that, obviously when delegates come, and meet the delegates over here, it's different. But when people who are from different walks of life, when they come to your country, when they make certain different videos, when they go back to their country, it has an impact. I'm not going to use the word, positive image. Well, I used it, but I seriously think that it's been overused over the years too as well. I think that they promote the softer image of Pakistan, which is very better, and it's going to be very fruitful for Pakistan too as well.
Also, before we move on to anything else, we always talk about the northern areas, especially that we've never been there because we don't get any days off. But have you identified any of the other areas other than northern areas?
Yeah,
the
I,
typical
th
ones that
I
you
think that there's this one place as well which I haven't been to. I haven't been to that province, for example, so I haven't been to Balochistan
Same
at
here.
all.
Yeah, same.
And when we talk about Balochistan, the beaches over there are superb. I mean, it's just like being in Thailand, because while I was in Thailand, there was this one beach, I just do not remember the name of it. It was Hadrin.
Okay.
Yeah, Hadrin Beach.
Okay.
It's ranked on #2 within the top 10 beaches within the world.
Wow.
Imagine so how beautiful it might be. Brown sand,
Wow.
blue water, all of that. So this is what you get in Balochistan, and that's
Wow.
what people have been telling me.
Oh, beautiful.
So have you been to
beautiful.
Balochistan?
I have actually never been to Balochistan,
Okay.
just for once in Quetta when my dad was posted to Quetta, but I was like younger then. So, but I wish to, actually visit and see all those beautiful places,
Wow.
especially the beaches and everything, Gwadar as well. And I've never even been to Khunjarab, Hunza, none of these places. But this is what we're going to talk about today.
Exactly.
Well, most of this.
But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, what I've done is that I've taken out 16 amazingly beautiful places where you can actually go. You can plan your trip. The weather is perfect too as well over here in Pakistan. If there are people in other countries, you probably have another 20 to 30 days to visit Pakistan and go to all other places before the weather changes. So let me just very quickly name all of those places
Yes.
too as well before our guests do that, because they're very prepared. I know that.
Yes.
So #1, we have Naltar Valley. Have you been to Naltar Valley?
No,
I'm not
man.
going to get into details where it is, but
Yeah.
by the way, it's a 2.5 hour drive from Gilgit too as well.
Okay.
But moving on, we have got Neelam Valley in Azad Kashmir. Then we have Shangri-La Resort in Skardu. So yeah, up north, yeah, Gojal Valley. And we do have people who've actually been to all of these valleys too as well. And I think it'll be very interesting to share their, whatever they did over there.
Experiences, yes.
Because we do not say that what happens in Thailand stays in
Stays.
Thailand. That's not what's happening. It's Pakistan. It's beautiful. Then we have Diosai Plains as well. This is the perfect weather. We do have beers over there as well.
Oh, it's called Land of the Giants, I know for a fact, because it's so huge and beautiful, but I've never been there.
Exactly. Then we have Rama Meadows as well. Then we have Siripai. Siripai is a place where I've been to.
Oh, yes,
Check.
I have to. Yes.
Oh, okay,
one
so
pla-
all of a sudden when I said that, I've been to this place, he's like,
No,
yeah, I've
like
been to
there's
that
this
place too as
only
well.
one place I've ever been to, it's Siripai.
Okay, it's all right. Don't worry. Okay, moving on. Then we have Ayun and Bamburat Valley. They're in Kailash too as well. I've been to these places.
Okay,
Check again.
wow.
Wow, I feel great. I feel like a big man now. White Palace Swad. And there are different places. Then, there's Mubarak Village in Karachi. There are different places which we're going to talk about. It makes me very excited as well. And it gives me immense pleasure to actually talk about something which I think that our newer government is actually working on too as well. They're working on planting trees. They're working on artisans. They're working on sports. So I feel great. And without any further ado, I would definitely love to introduce my guest to you as
Yeah,
well.
but when we talk about tourism, it sort of gives a message of peace as well.
Yeah.
Because first of all, your foreign relations are improving. You're going to other countries to discover new places and everything. And when we are talking about peace, I feel like this is one of the main issues, not an issue, one of the main things that we are going to highlight in our show as well. Because one of these people has actually written a book on peace,
Yeah.
which is interesting. But it's going to be sort of interrelated as well, and we're going to highlight both of the things.
And tourism can only be nurtured in a place where there is peace,
Yeah,
because
true,
if
true.
God forbid, we know that, we as Pakistanis have gone through quite a lot. Extremism, terrorism, there were these problems. And then the Western media have been actually projecting our images in a way where people were actually giving up on coming to Pakistan. But now, with the newer data, we see that a lot of people are coming up, and it's all because of the fact that, there are other people who are working for the projection of the image of Pakistan as well. So let's talk about that without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen. On my right hand side, now the introductions are very long today, so you gotta hold it. All right. So on my right hand side, we've been joined by somebody who's actually German Pakistani businessman as well. He's an entrepreneur. He's a peace activist, social political advisor at UN Commissioner for UN Affairs too as well. He's written a lot of books. One of his books was actually being nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize too as
Wow.
well. He's none other than Mr. Jamal Ahmed Kassar. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
What a peaceful man to look at early in the morning. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for joining us. And alongside Mr. Jamal, we have been joined by somebody who's been a regular on the show too as well. I don't know what took her so long to come back, but it's been almost a year now. She's a researcher on tourist attractions and tourism development in Pakistan, especially concentrating on beauty of Balochistan and its beaches, northern areas of Pakistan, and KPK tourism, promoting Pakistan tourism on social media.
Wow.
She's none other than Miss Huma Gul. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Shahzad. It's good to be on
Thank
your
you
show
very much
once
for
again.
joining
Thank
us.
you
It's
for
lovely to
inviting
have
me.
you.
Thank you.
And last but not the least, a very considerate Pakistani, because there are so many different stories which go behind the curtain too as well. So thank you very much, first of all, for agreeing to whatever we said
For
to you.
cooperating,
Yeah,
yes.
for cooperating as well. He's well, it's a long profile. Trained in the US and has previously worked in Aga Khan as well. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I think everybody's aware of Excel Labs. He was the one. He's one of the founding members too as well since 1991. He's been helping people to develop their capacity as well. He does not really live in Pakistan, but has been to quite a lot of different places in Pakistan as well. He's none other than Dr. Nasir Ahmed. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us. So let's get the conversation started. Ladies first, obviously. So Shiza, you go and ask a question
Okay.
from Miss Hamago.
So I have, a question for you. So I was visiting your Twitter and social media pages basically.
Yes.
So a lot of focus of your, campaigns or whatever you're posting is about Balochistan. Why Balochistan first of all, and what sort of research are you doing there?
Thank you very much, Shiza. There's a particular and specific reason why is Balochistan. Good question.
Okay.
Balochistan is mineral-rich and resource-rich province of Pakistan.
Yes, indeed.
Unfortunately, neglected and deprived as well, as we all know. Safety and security concerns and issues are there. But if you count beauty of Balochistan, especially beaches of Balochistan, I think Pakistan can generate a lot of GDP, lot of tourism attraction and everything. If
From
they
Balochistan alone?
From Balochistan, if you just visit, like let's say Gwadar, and then Pasni, and then Jiwani, and Astola Island, there's so much of tourist attraction.
Right.
Just what we need to do is build our plan and work towards tourism improvement over there
Right.
and safety and security. So Balochistan has been, yes, for me, it's a quite
Top favorite for now.
Top favorite at the moment. I just, yes, as you said in Twitter and everything, I concentrate too much on Balochistan.
Okay.
And I try to promote the beaches and as much as I can do, but unfortunately I haven't been there yet.
Okay,
I'm just
okay.
waiting some friends.
But you plan on
Oh
going?
yes, for some friends to plan a visit and trip to Balochistan, especially to see these beaches over
Yeah.
there. And all there are so many other things as well apart from tourism.
Yeah, of course, of
And
course.
yes, tourist attraction and
Well,
the
it's
beautiful
great what
places.
you're doing. It's great what you're doing.
Yes.
But okay, I have to move on to other things as well. The places that you aspire to go to and the things which brought you back to Pakistan. We'll talk about it. But before that, I have to, of course, talk to Dr. Sab over here. Now, you happen to be a doctor, and we know for a fact that all your life, doctors are not, ever free to sit or, they just don't retire.
Even if they call people at their places to have dinner, all of a sudden they'll get a call, Dr. Sahab, emergency, hogi, paunch jaye, please. So they're like, okay, I'm very sorry, I have to go, but I'll be back.
Yeah, so, but even then, you actually took out time to, for vacations or whatever, but you actually visited so many beautiful places of Pakistan and, took the memories with you. How has the experience been for you? And can you name some of the places you've been to?
My experience in Pakistan has been very positive because Pakistan has a lot to offer in not just in diversity. Our concentration was mainly in the northern areas because I have a natural love for the mountains because I grew up in a family that used to go to during school breaks.
Okay.
The kids would go out and with their families and spend times in the mountains. So it was very childhood bonding to the
Okay,
north.
okay, perfect.
So, and I usually go with the family. I never go alone. Almost all the time, the wife and kids are with us. And we'll go up. We've been up through Pakistan ki northern valleys run south-north, most of them. So the most eastern is the Kashmir Valley. So you have places like Neelam Valley and all. But then as you move westward, you come across Kagan, which is the next valley over, which is absolutely a lovely valley and great road access. We've been in there when the road access was not good. But now the roads are beautiful and it's a very safe and nice valley to visit. Then you move westward, then you come across places like Swat and Hunza and all these other valleys that as you move westward, you come across them. And they're absolutely beautiful. And each valley has its own character. The Kashmir Valley and Kagan Valley are very green and lush, as is
Okay.
Swat.
Okay.
But as you move westward, you come across the so-called barren valleys, which have green areas in them like Hunza, Gilgit, and Chitral. So the topography differs.
All right, but sir, I'm very sorry, but I'm actually known for this too as well. So you said that you've never ever been traveling alone, but you have this profound love for the mountains too as well because you grew up in a family who loved mountains and used to visit. So when you weren't married, when you were a bachelor, did you ever get a chance to go to the northern areas too as well?
Well, as I said, we used to go with family. So
Okay.
as a bachelor,
okay,
I've had
okay.
people who work with me who've taken their bikes and headed north, and some of the people who work with me have gone north. And they have taken the bike and just 3 or 4 guys have just gone out. And they found it to be a very positive experience.
Wow, is this great? And which is why that, ladies and gentlemen, just got to remember this as well, that what happened was that for at least 4 days earlier, there were a gang of 40 people, they were riding on their Harley Davidsons. And, luckily, because one of the guy was my boss in the previous channel too as well.
Okay.
So we gathered along because I'm a bike enthusiast myself. as well. So what happened was, I'm not sure why I'm not actually on the monitor too as well, but it's
Yeah,
perfectly all right since I'm talking. So other than that, what happened was that they decided to actually ride from Karachi to Khunjra Pass as well. It has taken them almost 7 days, and
Wow.
now they're on their way back too as well. Do you think that things like these actually promote the image and the tourism industry? Will Saima, please.
Absolutely. Me?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Absolutely, they do. As you are passing the message of peace, prosperity, and calmness in country. Unfortunately, previously Pakistan was going through turmoil and
Yeah.
peaceful issues and security concerns. So yes, it passes a very positive message. Like you can ride a bike and you can just roam around the country and you can see the beautiful places and
Yeah.
sightseeing and come back safe to your place. So yes, it does a lot of impact and it creates a lot of positive image. Yes.
Which reminds me of Gule Afshan Tariq too as well. I don't know whether a lot of people might know about her or not, but she's the one who actually for the very first time came on our show. She's the first female rider to actually go across Pakistan too as well, telling people that if it's safe for me, it's safer
safe
for
for
you.
you,
Which is
yeah.
why we're going to move on to Jamal sir over here.
Now, okay. I have
Yeah,
a
go
question
ahead,
for you.
go ahead.
Okay. So, Mr. Jamal, feeling the responsibility of taking on the beacon of peace through your writing. What inspired you, first of all, to spread out your message through your books, through your writing, and why specifically writing? Like there are other things that people do. So,
Yeah.
what drove you in this direction?
I mean, it started about 15 years ago. I was a business consultant basically, and I started revising the German Ministry of Commerce. Then I came into demographics and Euro crisis, and after a few years, I had the opportunity to work for the United Nations as an advisor.
Okay.
And from there, I had a pattern of peace because my job was to preserve the world peace. Actually, that's what we should do. Actually,
right.
so I started writing. I wrote a book on Syria, which was very successful,
Okay.
and I actually wrote that if you want to keep peace in the world, we have to also those capitalist forces has to be under control, and the West has to play a very different role, and terrorism has to be eliminated. After that, I wrote one after the other. Then I wrote in Kashmir, and then then I made a structure for myself. I said, okay, I take a problem, we analyze the problem, we come with a solution. How could we solve the problems peacefully without the war?
Right.
So that's my expertise today.
Okay, that's great. Well, I'm once again very sorry as well that I'm feeling a bit naughty too as well. But what happened was that for somebody who's a peace activist comes up, writes a book, and the title of the book is "My Nuclear Button is Bigger," and that definitely means
Love
than
it.
yours
Love the
too
graphics
as
of
well.
this.
It is a great title, but for somebody who's a peace activist, should actually be very tactful with whatever cover names he's coming up with. So why would you come up with such a name?
You see that the picture actually tells a story. There's a nuclear power, Donald Trump,
Yeah.
American, who.
And then there's another power
There's
which
a
has
small
missiles.
guy there who's
Yeah.
a nationalist standing with the flag, North Korea.
Yeah.
And what we try to do there is that how can we solve the problem without the war? The war is going to happen without this kind of sanctions. You can't. A country like the sanctions on North Korea, they have to get free. So if you don't work on that problem on right time.
So we intimidate other people by just telling them my button's bigger
Bigger
than
than
yours.
yours.
Well, I think that's
Yeah,
a great
that's
idea.
the tweet of Donald Trump.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
wrote
I know
that.
that, I know
So
that, yeah.
so I actually it's a book against him. So because the way he was working with North Korea is wrong. The U.S. policy is wrong on that. So I was actually explaining that. What is North Korea today? The 99% of people are educated. Why are they educated? Well, we don't get this picture. They're working with NASA. They're going to. Why are they doing this? They're so dull and they want to do a war. And if you state the statistics, after 1950, they even started one war. So they're the most peaceful country in the world. Who'd never started a war after 1953.
Okay,
so
so
why
this is
are they
your-
betrayed so bad?
Okay.
So I took their case and
Yeah.
said, no, it's not like that. It's a lot of neo-capitalism policies, imperialistic politics, which has to be under control to If we don't do that, there will be about 30, 40 million people dying as a third world war.
Right.
This is how we activists and we take some risk.
Really don't want to go there too as well, because we just want to live. I just have a little daughter right now, so we probably need to think about tourism. But just one thing very quickly, and that is that I heard that if you go to North Korea, there are only a total of 20 haircuts, and you can only choose from in between them. Is that true?
Haircuts?
Yeah.
No, it's not like that.
Okay, it's not like that. Thank you very much. See, this is how people tell you different myths, and then you're like, okay, I know about it, and it all happens when you haven't traveled.
Yeah, so there's just one thing before moving on to tourism again, I have to ask Mr. Jamal. So when you're writing books like The German Asylum and this one as well, are you getting the okay, this is probably off the topic, but are you getting first-hand information, I mean, in terms of research? Have you actually encountered all these things as well? Because when you formed an opinion like this about North Korea, have you seen all these things by yourself?
Of course, we go there, we see the country, and then we go do the research.
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course.
like I give you the statistics that after 1953, there was no war.
Okay.
So why are they betrayed so bad? So I mean, it's a detailed subject. I mean, North Korea was a part of Japan, and then next to the house door, there were two bombs thrown in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. So they should be a little bit scared as well. I mean, there is something psychologically we should also understand. Why are they that much scared of the world? So but we have to treat them like a doctor, not just put another war on them.
Okay.
You know.
So, Shazay, is there anything else you want to talk about? No,
well, there are quite some.
All right, this is what happens when you have a journalist sitting right next to you too as well. But other than that, Ms. Gul, now let's talk about the challenges Pakistan's facing and the tourism industry is facing, because I want to talk about PDDC too as well. All of these different institutions which we had and were performing well, but unfortunately they're nowhere to be seen. And so who's going to develop all of these beaches within within Balochistan too as well? How do you think we're going to convey to people that these are the best places to come? And foremost, which I think is very important, how are we going to educate our people that please make sure that you do not use the places in such a way where it's not even left for use?
To preserve them, in a good way.
Thank you, Shehzad. I think you've asked me 3 questions, so I'll answer one by one, all of them. First of all, safety and security concern. We have to build peace.
Right.
Unless and until peace is not restored, we cannot build tourism. We can't attract tourists. So yes, peace is important. And then the new evolving and emerging Pakistan, Naya Pakistan, and through your medium, through your channel, I would like to request Prime Minister Imran Khan that please look towards Balochistan and do something for its beaches, for its people, obviously. Once he built the tourism industry and, the tourism ministry, they worked toward, betterment of the province and built up the beaches or motels and hotels and restaurants. And we have beautiful beaches over there. Trust me, Pasni and Javani and Gwadar, if you go there, they are not less than Miami or Florida or anywhere and states. I'm really serious.
That's how it is.
And recently in Turkey, if you've been there in Bosphorus, there are many islands. So Rajab Tayyip Erdogan, sorry, it's off the topic thing. I just want to give an example. They have built 500 room plus hotel on one of their islands, and that's how they are attracting tourists and tourism. They are promoting in their
Turkey
country.
has done a great job.
Yes. So why can't we do that? We have been gifted by God. We are gifted with these things, the natural resources and everything. So just government needs to look on these things and build a prosperous Pakistan. I think tourism industry and information ministry, through your medium, PTV and other channels, they need to create programs and awareness amongst people. Let us know like where we can go. A person like me who's coming from abroad and is hardly aware of northern areas or Balochistan or anywhere else in Pakistan. So I want to know through your medium or through television, like where I can plan my next trip. So in this case, yes, information ministry. You have a very dynamic minister now for
That's a great
Wabisan.
idea,
Yes, I think he will really look into it, and he will ask his team to create programs which will create awareness, obviously in English and Urdu, to attract tourists. So you can do English channel, which is PTV.
That's what we're doing?
Yes, that's what
Yes.
you're doing. So we need more of that.
Yeah.
Like your team should visit the particular place and show us.
Oh, we so want to go.
I came to know about Shigar Fort through one of the friend who just visited during Eid holidays, and she said this is beautiful place and you must visit. Otherwise I didn't know what is Shigar Fort. I just heard of Skardu and Gilgit and Baltistan and all these areas. So just the main focus and concern should be to create awareness. We need to educate our people. We need to let world know what we have. Unfortunately, in past, like, or even now, I can't see anything big going on tourism.
Yeah.
Unless and until you won't tell me what is Gwadar and what is Pasni and Javani and Astola Island, I wouldn't be knowing. And for tourist attraction, obviously, you have to spend first, build kind of thing, you know, hotels, and again, I would say like relaxation spots. Maldives,
Yeah.
we are better than Maldives. What we just need to build, and we need to create this kind of attractions. I think Imran Khan will do that.
Inshallah,
I'm
inshallah.
very much hopeful from
And
this
thank
government.
you very much for reminding me one thing too as well, which is that, ladies and gentlemen, over here we're not just talking about mountains and all those hilly areas or the beaches. We have a lot of historical places too as well. For example, even if we start from Lahore to Shekhupura, first of all we've got Lahore Fort, then we've got Hiran Minar alongside Shekhupura too as well. And Pakistan is actually one of those lands which is geographically located on a location where I think if we even dig into history, we've got quite a lot to learn too as well. And other than that, so people, because tourists, when we talk about tourists, there are different kinds. There are people who want to sightsee, there are people who want to trek, there are people who want to go up and down the hills too as well. But there's one question which was left by Ms. Hamagul, which is why I'm going to move on to Dr. Saab over here, because Dr. Saab himself is a traveler. He's been to different valleys. Now, Dr. Saab, how do we educate our Pakistani population? For example, we've had this issue where people went to Murray and they got beaten by the locals too as well. So how do you think we're going to educate them that, these people are actually gift from God? If they're coming towards areas like Murray, which is very developed, it's not remote anymore, but if you move towards Gilgit Baltistan, there are places which are still very remote but very beautiful. How do we do it?
I think if you look at the natural tendency of most of the villagers in most of the northern areas, it varies from valley to valley. They tend to be welcoming to foreigners, provided that they behave in a respectful way towards the locals. It's a two-way street. And I think we have to breed a message of tolerance, because any country that promotes tourism also has to promote tolerance, because there are going to be different type of people coming in. So I think that the people, I'll narrate a short story of some friends of ours in the time in the 80s or early 90s went up by bike. They were Americans and they were working with one of the embassies here, and at that time it was safe enough for them to do a bike trek along, I think, Gilgit, somewhere in one of the valleys up there. And there was a landslide and their car had gone ahead and they were left on bikes behind the landslide. So the only place they could put up with was the closest village with the locals, and they stayed there for 3 days and they fed them, looked after them, and didn't take any money from them. So I mean, that's how welcoming the people can be. But I think that the tourists have to be shown the right way, and the locals have to build in a tolerance and acceptance of others who are different coming in.
And then this habit of polluting wherever we are going, or leaving marks as if somebody's actually following us to see those, okay, he dropped a pack of crisps down here, he might be probably in that direction too. What do we do about it?
I think that's where the government and the locals have to come together. If you go into Karimabad in Hunza, it's as clean as any place abroad, and you'll be amazed if you walk through the streets there. It's safe, it's clean, and even foreign tourists who are there are feeling so comfortable. So cleanliness is something where the government has to play a role, because they have to restrict the hotels and the tourists from dumping. They have to create a way of moving trash out. Our cities and our rural areas have no way of moving trash, and that unless you have a clean country, it's going to be hard to encourage tourism.
Well, it's okay. It's great you say that the government should do something about it, because just last weekend, a teacher of mine had actually gone to some northern places with his family, and I'm on his Instagram, so I was watching. He was sharing pictures of Saif al-Muluk and Naran and other places that I've never seen. They were so dirty that he even wrote, I don't even feel like taking pictures of myself here because it's so dirty. So first of all, it's your personal individual responsibility to not litter around, or even if you see something, please pick it up, because you're adding to the beauty of your own country. And then of course the government has a role to play. That is probably not your business, but you have to play your part. And now I think it's time to head out for a short break. When we come back, we're going to discuss the dynamics of the changing piece of world, and also more about tourism. Stay tuned to B2B World.
Let's do it. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome back to World This Morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're having a great morning as usual because of the guests who are amazing at speaking. We're talking about tourism in Pakistan and how we can explore different beautiful, beautiful places in Pakistan. It's not only north, and this is what we're discussing today. There's so many different places that even I didn't know of, even Shahzad didn't know of, and we're discovering them and how we should go about it, how we should promote it, how we should also take care of the cleanliness there and, you know, play our individual role. Also, there's one more thing that we're talking about. That is world peace, is it?
It is, it is. And then at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, since I earlier mentioned that, you know, it's not just the mountains, it's not just the historical places, we have a lot of spiritual places too as well. Even if we start from Karachi, you know, Abdullah Shah Ghazi ka mazar hai, then we can go down to Lal Shahbaz Qalandar, then we've got Panja Sahib over here too as well. So, you know, there are different tourist attractions for everybody over here in Pakistan, and we've got 4 or more seasons too as well over here. You know, you can be a part, and the winters over here within Islamabad are not that crucial or too hard to pass too as well. But one thing which we were discussing in break, and that was that, you know, for a country blessed with spiritual, historical, and mountains and whatnot, different types of places and seasons, what I think is wrong on our behalf, on people who are on television, people who write for the news agencies too as well, people who are on social media, need to stop using these words that there was extremism, there was terrorism and whatnot. And I'm only saying it because 3 years earlier I decided that I'm not going to call Pakistan an underdeveloped country. I'm going to call Pakistan a developing country, which makes me feel great about my country too as well. How do we change these mindset all across the globe?
I mean, your ambassadors can do a lot of job for that. They can portray the Pakistan soft image, which is important. You know, then in Pakistan, all kind of news, as you say, the negative news, India, Kashmir news, that problem needs to be solved. You know, and human rights issues have to be discussed. If a human rights organization asks Pakistan, what we're going to do for this matter, you just can't say them, you know, what's happening in Kashmir. You have to, what's happening in Palestine. You have to say, come on, let's sit together, let's sort it out, because their foreign office has to play also a role. They have to say Pakistan comes now under the umbrella of a peaceful country. So if they don't do that, every time a diplomat or a known person wants to travel to Pakistan, he will get a letter from the government, be careful. Right. So that has to be done, work on that. So the work, and that has to be done in the US, in America, in Germany, and all over the countries. This is very important. But it's a slow process. As you said, it's not very long ago that there were every second day there were suicide bombings happening in Pakistan. But it's not done yet. It's not finished. The work isn't done. I think we have done 70-80%, but a 25% elimination of terrorism has to be done as well. So I think in the coming years, by promoting Pakistan's valleys and K2 and all that places, and Lahore and Islamabad, the future could be bright. But I hope that the new Pakistan will go in the right direction, and Imran Khan, the Prime Minister Imran Khan, gets the right people to do that as well. You know, if he's got the same people working for and he thinks the same people will do a different job, that won't happen.
I think we believe in him because, you know, it took him 22 years to finally reach at the point where he is right now.
True.
So there were different groups of people coming in, going out as well, but he's finally there as well. So we need a leader. We never needed a ruler, and I think we've got our leader too as well. But Ms. Huma, how would you respond to the same question?
Thank you very much. Shahzad, again, I would like to echo Jamal Kaisa that it's peace and security. And our foreign offices, our embassies abroad in different countries, they need to build this image of Pakistan, that Pakistan is a peaceful country which loves peace, its beauty and attraction and tourism. That's how we can, you know, create more GDP, more growth, more resources, everything. And it's interconnected, foreign office plus tourism industry plus information. I think 3 of these ministries or 3 of these offices, they can, you know, work together to promote tourism specifically in Pakistan. So again, yes, it's wherever there is a peace, people would like to go. Tourists won't come if there is a bomb blast, if there's a suicide attack, or if there is a media, unfortunately. Sorry, you are also from same field. Or if an anchor person.
Doing the right job, though.
News, yes, you are doing a wonderful job, I must say that. And if an anchor or a newscaster or if any program host is building a country image that there's a suicide attack and there's extreme terrorism and the country situation, peace, law and order is very bad. So obviously we can't expect then tourists. No one wants to kill himself or herself, and they would like to go to the country where there's always a threat that you might be killed and all. So reason why again I would like to mention that Balochistan is again deprived and neglected and left behind, unfortunately, because of its peace situation.
Okay.
They need to restore law and order and peace and security, so you can have a lot of tourists. And yes,
That's great, and which is why I'm going to move on to Dr. Saab over here. Now, Dr. Saab, since 1991, I have to take the name as well. You've established an institute which has never ever been defamed. Not even with a single cause, and it's so easy to just say that they do not even sanitize their instruments or whatever. So there are these different terms which can be used to defame any institution or any country or anything which we are willing to do so. So you have looked after your institution in such a way. Do you have something very fruitful to share with our people, within the ministries too as well, and for all those people who are bureaucrats who go out of the country?
I think that we have to own, first of all, the process of selling our country. Pakistan is sold by each and every individual Pakistani, and I think it's important that we stay on message. We say positive things about our country. We do positive things to project our country, and make sure that people view us as a place that's safe and nice to come to. Comes through having a nice attitude towards other people, having tolerance towards other people, having a good feel for our own strengths, and projecting good things about Pakistan. There's so much that we can say, but we don't. I had the opportunity to travel up Karakoram Highway 20 years ago, and then again last year or 2 years ago. So we had 2 trips 20 years apart to go up the same road through the same valleys, and we were amazed at the road quality. I mean, because of the China-Pakistan economic corridor, the road conditions are so much better. That way we were floundering around in dust and potholes and landslides, it's now like driving on an autobahn. But when I talk to other Pakistanis, they don't seem to know anything about it. So part of it is that we have to start putting out these messages ourselves, so they reach other Pakistanis, and from there they are spread out further.
Thank you very much for saying that, and which is why I have this thing which I wanted to ask, and then I have an answer for that, and then there's another thing as well. So let me do justice. So you just mentioned about Karakoram Highway. A lot of Pakistanis don't know about it. Now I've seen Turkey wasn't doing very well until and unless tourism came about too as well. Thailand, Singapore, Maldives, all of these places, and I think they're just in the same peripheral too as well. Now, for a country where people are actually striving very hard to find a roof to live under, to have clean drinking water, to have basic health facilities, do you think they'll probably be interested in going anywhere else other than their homes? How do we face that challenge?
well,
I'm sorry. I know it's a hard one, but it needs to be asked.
in this regard, again, is creating an awareness, mindset change, and a repetitive thing of peace and security and law and order situation. And again, it's an intermingled interconnected thing. Government must need to do a lot of things, and then union councils and ministries, they need to create awareness. All right, and it's a teamwork. It won't be done within a day or so. We need some time, as we are expecting a Naya Pakistan or new Pakistan, emerging and evolving Pakistan by Imran Khan. So he needs time to build this image and create that peaceful thought and mindset amongst people and abroad. Yes, so
even
I
if somebody's not willing to give us time, we'll get the time. Don't worry. So
Yeah,
we're on it.
Well, that makes absolute sense. But there's just one thing I need to ask Mr. Jamal before we wrap up the show. And back to your book. First of all, tell me if any of you have watched the movie Interview. Seth Rogen.
I haven't.
Okay, it's about North Korea, so they go to interview, Kim Jong-un, and it's very funny. So, well, that was not the question. Point being, so that is the portrayal of US, the media portrayal of North Korea, and I will be honest, a lot of people think that is what they think about North Korea. So, and you have said it's nothing like that, okay, which is great, that is your opinion. You have also mentioned that you think that the US's approach towards world peace is sort of wobbly and cannot be trusted. So let's narrow it down to Pakistan. What have you figured out in terms of Pakistan's approach to peace, and where do you see us in the next, let's see, 5 to 10 years towards contributing towards the world peace?
You know, they're not even signing the protocols for climate change and everything else too as well. For example, the Kyoto
They're
Protocol
not.
itself.
Yeah, the problem with Pakistan is Pakistan has a lot of cases against Christians and Hindus and all that stuff, which betrays a very bad picture of Pakistan. What they think in the West about Pakistan is that if you're a Muslim, you're accepted. If you're a Christian and Hindu, you're a second-class citizen. This has to be changed.
But I have to
Wow.
It
disagree.
has to change in
Different
both
opinion
ways.
about
You know,
it.
if you just see the, I'm just trying what's written in the newspaper.
okay.
You know, so there are a lot
That's
of,
something we're talking about. That's something we need to change.
No, of course, but also if you see a lot of the Pakistan's law and order is not very much pro minorities. We know that. So which has to be dealt slow and steady. I mean, Pakistan is a dangerous place. We all know that in that sense. And if you see the Christian lady who's sitting in the jail for a few years because she done something, you know, for this kind of thing, governor of Punjab could be just shut down, you know, for your own guards. So if this kind of a news goes to the West, you know what the picture will be there. So, and then you see the forced conversions of Hindus. You know, then this kind of news goes out. What kind of image Pakistan has there? When we're sitting in Pakistan today, we're not sitting on a CNN, so we're talking about what needs to be done to promote Pakistan. Pakistan is on a good direction, no doubt about that. But Pakistan has to be. There's one small point about Pakistan, is that we are Pakistanis, we are Pakistanis. But if you're not Muslim, who are we then? Turks are Turkish if they're not Muslims. Germans are Germans, they don't have to be Muslim.
So you're talking about
So the
being a
nationalism as a nation,
Yeah.
you know, so that's our picture which
Thank you
goes
very
out.
much for saying that, but we're running very short of
Yes.
time. Thank you very much for joining us. It was lovely to have you
Thank
guys.
you.
I know that you still have a lot to say.
Even we
Yes.
do, but
We
we
probably-
And again, just a short minute, sorry to cut you short,
Go ahead,
Shahzad.
go ahead.
It's just media plays a very vital and
Exactly.
important role. You are our eyes and voice. So please spread the message of peace.
And this is
Rather
what I'm
than
going to do.
We try to
extremism,
do.
fanatism, and security and law and order. No, Pakistan is on a better track.
Exactly.
10 years ago, it was totally different. And reason why I'm back to my country, because I'm enjoying working over here.
Thank you very much. Thank you
All
very
right.
much, Ms. Humagul. Thank you very much,
you.
Dr. Naseeb Saab. Thank you very much, Jamal sir, for being with us. Lovely to have you.
Yes,
But towards
absolutely.
the end, very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to reiterate to you once again. So we have got more than 5 peaks, which are more than 7,000ers as well. We have got K2, we have got spiritual places, we have got historical places, then we have got news anchors who are Sikhs as well, who are Christians as well. Then we've got story writers who are Christians and Sikhs. So we are an inclusive society. We're moving towards better Pakistan, and we're going to achieve it. And I think
Inshallah.
this is where Ms. Humagul said that you are our eyes and you are our ears and you are our voice.
We try
So I
to
think it's
do
our
our
job
job.
to actually tell you guys.
Of
Exactly.
course not, of course not.
Human
Because
rights
this
and
is
all.
this is what I'm going to say. So no matter whether you're a Sikh, you're a Christian, you're a Jew, you're a Pakistani, you're a Muslim, or if you're within this country, you're a Pakistani.
You're a
We feel
Pakistani,
it, and we
yes.
felt it on 14th of August too as well. We're going to feel it on 6th of September too as well.
Okay, we'll all want, and if there's anything you need to write to us or give us any feedback, write to us on our Facebook page, which is the name of,
Well, this
on
morning,
Twitter,
without a
Daily
G.
Motion YouTube,
Well, this morning,
and the repeat is going to be at.
5:11 p.m. tonight.
Till then, take care and have a very good day. Good morning.
Look after yourselves. 1, 2, 3. Good morning.